Your favorite is right here, sitting in front of me. That is the man himself with the salt and pepper beard. I mean, really?
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Inchebeyan manje.
Impilo. Siyakhula. What can I say?
Ukhula?
Khula.
Or ifake vele or ushayi bleach nyana lapho.
I wish it's in my family. Ufuzo.
Is it?
My dad is grey, my mom is grey. We're just grey early in my family. It's crazy. I had one grey throughout my 20s, just one hair.
Yeah.
And I proposed to my wife. Kusavele sathi phihli.
Ukhulile ke manje.
Hlala phansi ke mfana.
Ukhulile ke manje.
And when 29, it just all happened. It just exploded.
And I'm glad you are embracing it.
I'm loving it. It's symbolic of.
You know who I frown. You know who I frown upon is ladies who cover it up.
Yeah, I know. Well, I find
why cover such wealth?
Because it's symbolic of age,
no.
And I think it becomes a thing with ladies. But you know, for me, I don't know why, but I take pride in it. I enjoy it. It's like a signature.
It is.
Nilaba.
Yes.
Nilaba banje. You know, it's like.
And since you've embraced it, what happened?
Look at us now.
Thank you.
You know,
you made it.
I'm on the top 10 at 10. I've definitely made it.
You're making me feel bad. He walks in and says, hey, you know, I thought to be invited on this show, you should be a guru of sorts. And
a life connoisseur. Like a Paulo Coelho.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
A guy who has written books.
You know, who's amassed experience and just has taken it all in, has changed lives, has reinvented himself, rebirth after rebirth, and grey.
Now.
But 60 grey, not 34 grey.
The universe has a way of telling you that you've made it. You're here.
We made it.
Thapelo Mokoena, I am so glad. I've chased you for a year. We've been pulling hair with my producers and what would it take to get this guy on our show?
This is saddening. I would have ran, I would have dropped everything and come straight.
Your CV gave us a number. Also, it's called Biog.
Yes.
Gave us a number. Ganti number tiki box. We call a public phone in a stratin.
Yeah.
Some random person will answer and didn't phone handler.
We fixed it. I'm glad. I'm glad it's fixed.
You are a Librian.
Yes, sir. I'm on the cusp, actually. You know, I'm not big on star signs and so forth, but I know for a fact Uguti E21's October is on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio. But I've always sort of grown up reading all the Libra.
Oh, the Libra side. And what does it say about you and money? What is with the Librans and money?
You know, it tells me things, and then I go and look at the bank account, and I'm like, but Boopy. I'm like, where is it?
Where is this thing?
Like, what are you talking about? You know, the interesting thing is, I'm not big on them, but I read them when I get the chance to. When I run past that page, I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, let's see. Yeah.
And what's crazy is 90% of the time, it just always, it hits some notes that I'm just like uncomfortable reading about, like, is somebody following me?
You're like, no ways.
I'm like, you know, I read them. I find them at times validating. It's weird. It's maybe, sometimes you read what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Maybe in life as you go through stuff. Challenges, not challenges. But
most of the time I find that we gravitate towards them or sort of take in what they say, especially when it's positive.
This is the thing. Because we all want good.
Of course.
We all want the positive things in life. And in fact, I feel like we go there because we want to hear something positive that nobody's going to tell us.
Yeah.
Njemahala. Nobody's going to just stop you and go, hey, Tibos, did you know that you're destined for greatness and that tomorrow you're going to wake up to $1 million and your wife is going to tell you she loves you 10 times today?
Wow.
You know, like it's...
Wouldn't you want to... I mean, everybody would want to hear that.
I'd come in every day and read. So
Hold
it's
on.
amazing.
So umfana was Ladysmith.
Umfana was Ladysmith Nkhule Mnambiti. Ezakheni.
Yeah.
And Ladysmith, where Ladysmith Black Mambas is from. Masutu boy, raised Zulu.
Yeah.
Mukwena.
Yeah, I know Mukwena, but I don't know who's Mukwena is your dad, right?
Mukwena is my dad, yes.
Yeah, and is he a Sutu boy?
He's a Sutu man, yeah.
And your mom?
Mr. Mukwena, Nonhlanhla. Msimang, who's a Zulu girl.
Zulu girl?
Yeah.
Hey, Nonhlanhla must have power of note to pull this guy to KZN.
Baba.
Yeah?
Baba.
When they say that if the center holds, eh?
Hey, if the center holds, gravitate. You know what? She's a strong woman, a mother of 5 boys. She's a force. Yeah, she's a force. Yeah, she's a force.
You are number?
I'm number 2.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm number 2 from my mother. I'm one of, I think after me, she just wanted to have a baby girl, and that's how we ended up being 5 boys. But yeah, we've got a great family. 5 brothers. We're born very close to each other.
Oh, okay.
We're quite tight.
I can imagine.
We're solid, tight-knit family, and it's purely because of that.
Who got married first in the whole 5?
Myself. And here we are, 5 years deep.
What do you mean here we are? No, hold on. Because you see, if there are 5 boys, who is this girl here coming into this clique?
And disturbing the flow.
Hey, man.
Ish.
Who are you, girl?
She's the queen, that's what she is.
But was it easy?
What?
Her integrating into the whole, boys' family?
Yeah. We raised by a woman who is so... My mom's a teacher.
Okay.
So who is a people's person,
sure,
and has a way with people.
Yeah.
And she raised us to not just be boys. I remember growing up, we used to have like roster, a schedule, the timetable.
Oh.
We didn't have a helper. It was 5 boys.
Yeah.
Mom and a very hardworking, busy, out and about, everywhere kind of dad.
Yeah.
And we had to do things ourselves. So we used to cook.
Wow.
So she raised us as the girls and the boys in that house. You know
so
what I mean?
Well-rounded, yeah.
Well-rounded. We used to wash. I mean, even the helper that we had at the time never washed our clothes, our school clothes. We got home, wash your own school shirt, polish your own school shoes. We had routine. We had a roster. I'd wake up and cook porridge for that for the 1 week.
For that morning, yeah.
And when we come back from school, my brother makes sandwiches, and then somebody else or two brothers club the supper thing. Consistency. And I think when my wife walked into this family, she walked into like a bunch of guys who are just like Bawa's umsebenzi, we grew up in a small town, almost eplazini, so it's like it's routine. It's actually not work.
Yeah, no.
It's
way of life.
It's way of life. So it's, in fact, my wife is always like blown away by how much we know, like how much like I can make ucheka. I'm not a good cook.
Yeah.
But I can cook.
No, you can make
survive.
Sustenance can be
sustained, right?
Yeah.
I can plant seeds. I can grow stuff. I can grow mazamba and carrots. I can grow.
Yeah.
Give me seeds, give me soil. I know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
An average kid, I think, is not in the same position this day and time.
No.
So my wife, as a small town girl, met a small town boy.
Where's your dad from?
My dad's from the Free State.
Where?
Kwakwa.
Yeah. Put that in sharp.
Bethlehem, there we go.
There you go.
And so, it was a small town girl meeting a small town family with quite a strong farm backbone. So it was comfortable. I don't think it was never intimidating. We weren't staunch in any way,
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm hanging out with Thapelo Mokoena, the man himself, and this is his top 10. And obviously, why D'Angelo? Let's start there.
I want some of your brown. D'Angelo, like I've always been into, I'm an 80s kid, so my era, my big era was definitely R&B, the early days of hip hop, and soul.
Yeah.
My uncles used to play Fusion.
Yes.
When we were growing up, Fusion, ballads.
Yeah.
You understand? So D'Angelo was my modern day, my coming of age or becoming a young man, a man's version of Commodores and the Manhattans for my uncles. So soul in my
he was your Marvin Gaye.
It was my Marvin Gaye. Maxwell was in the mix coming out. It was still your Commodores and your Lionel Richies, but this was the new age, and there was the new swag, and it was just different, and it had a touch of hip hop in it, and it was smooth, So I kind of enjoyed it, and I've always sort of loved the way D'Angelo's music videos were put together. They were very artistic, quite cinematic, and
it's a story on its own.
It's a story on its own. So I just remember D'Angelo being like one of those artists, Raphael Sadiq, that I always looked at, and I was like, you know, I want to be that kind of dude, man. I want to almost dress like that. I want to feel like that.
Yeah.
You know, suppose I was artistically inclined then and I didn't know it.
Now the Roots?
In the same light, you know. I think arguably one of the best hip-hop acts ever. I always say, for me, the biggest and the best jazz festival would be one that has the Roots as the main acts. Questlove. Black Thought. Monsters. Like, I mean, spal. And of course, the message in this song is, don't do what they do. Do you. Do you.
That deal.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. Now you understand why the likes of Jill Scott were found.
Yes, sir.
And they always say, I want Questlove.
Till today, even your biggest talk shows, Jimmy Fallon, you name them. Black, white, Chinese, Indian, Black Thought, Questlove, the Roots. Amazing stuff.
But aren't you surprised? I'm presently surprised, and I'm also thrilled that South African music production, this is where it's going now.
It's at that place where I can say, you know, people are brave to try their own form of musicality.
Yeah.
You know, and artists are starting to trust themselves as artists. Yes. Trusting their awkwardnesses, trusting their weirdness, trusting their lack of support now for what's coming later. That's what it's at. I mean, for me, that's why when somebody says to me, would you ever go to Hollywood as a performer and as an actor and live there and try to pursue a career in Hollywood? I always say, why would I? I'm at the turning point of African greatness.
Wow.
You know, in the arts, in the movies, in the storytelling, in the films, in the TV, in the music, and in everything. You know, we are in fashion. And, you know, La Duma. We are
Black coffee.
Makamu. Now, you know, the world is watching. And the world needs a different ingredient in all of it, in storytelling.
And funny enough, the world comes to Africa to reignite its own creativity.
To find its own soul. So
why live here?
Why live here? And why forsake your sound? Why forsake your culture, your heritage? Your sound is where it's at. All of that. That's where it's at, because the world was deprived of it, and hence when you travel the world physically, you run into encounters that blow your mind away, because they just cannot believe that you look like this and you are African. You know, in more ways than one. Of course, if you can't go as yet, you take a book, you travel through film, you travel through reading. But bottom line is, where we're going musically is probably the beginning of us turning our art into successes, big successes, wealth, influence, impact, legacy.
Yeah. Can you start me?
Hey, for what character? And how much are they paying?
That's some of the things where the funny juicy ends up, because it's in your blood.
No. I have hints of it.
Is it?
I haven't touched base in a while, but yeah, I've got that much.
I'm curious about your schooling.
Yeah.
Where was this?
Ladysmith.
Is it?
Where Ladysmith Black Mambas was from. Ngifunde Ladysmith High School. I first went to school eFalethu. An all-black school at Lokshini, class 1, class 2. My mom was a teacher. I then carried on until standard 2, because I was in standards, not grades.
Same here.
You know. And then standard 3 was my first time as one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, first 8 black individuals in a multiracial school in Ladysmith, 1993. So yeah, all my schooling, and then finished all the way in Ladysmith High School. My high school life.
And then
small town, all the way.
Acting, the arts?
Always had an interest in in music and films as a child growing up.
Yeah.
We were raised by a mother who was very, very strict. Yeah. You know, namanje. Yeah. Order.
Mamsimang.
Before the sun goes down, was 6. You understand?
What?
And if you're not at home, if you know what I'm saying. Like, if you're not, so, you know, she had a tight leash on us. So the one thing we really had was entertainment inside the house, inside each amajaliti, you know?
Yeah.
So she got us the TV game. She got us the VHS.
Yes.
So she would hire movies for us. That's all we ever did, consume television, consume movies. She got as much Reader's Digest as possible.
I grew up on that stuff.
But that stuff, I think, was way ahead of us.
The way ahead.
I
used to love reading the Laughter is the Best Medicine parts, because, I mean, that was full of jokes.
That was casual and there was jokes.
Yeah.
Or else read about birds or like specific things. But anyway, she had the Reader's Digest. She tried to have everything within the house, so we don't need to go out. Shame. Wow. Great attempt, Mom. Yeah. But, you know, I can tell you this. The love for the arts was in myself and my brothers constantly reenacting everything we watched, reenacting everything we listened to.
Your first guy you sort of imitated?
Oh, Bud Spencer, no, Terence Hill. What do you mean you did not repeat those films? Bud Spencer and Terence Hill.
I know.
Those guys were the original superheroes.
Kings of comedy.
Like kings of comedy, kings of action, kings of timing, kings of...
Bud Spencer, guys.
Sbali. And they always got rid of the bad guy.
Yes.
And Bud Spencer was out of shape.
Yes.
Terence Hill was like
the naughty boy,
no shape, no size.
Yeah.
But these two together, which is such a great metaphor for life, teamwork always got them through the film. So it was always your kung fu flicks, your Bud Spencers.
Yeah.
But she kept the entertainment at home, and I knew for a fact then that I either wanted to sing, I couldn't sing to save my life, but I love music.
Yeah.
You know, we would record my VHS tapes, the 0 Hour Zone videos, Jodeci, whatever you call it, you know. But anyway, I just knew that I felt like what I was seeing on that screen. I never knew what it was. I didn't do much drama at school.
Oh.
We were too busy transitioning.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately, when I moved to Joburg, here to study accounting at Wits, I saw around me what I really wanted. I went to a film school and I saw people that looked at like how I felt, and I saw people that spoke like how I really felt. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? What do you mean story? What do you mean writing? Performance where? And this is down the road from Wits, you know. And ultimately, when I saw it in Joburg, when I got here and I saw what I wanted, I knew exactly what I wanted to be. But it was blurry. It was blurry while I was in Ladysmith. I can tell you that.
So now, did you go back and tell Mom that, Mom, I'm deregistering the accounting stuff and I'm going for...
It wasn't a very successful campaign at first.
Yeah.
You know, but I had to. Halfway through Wits, I called home and I was like, angibon le number list.
Yeah.
It was accounting. I was like, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. It's not for me. I've never been great at accounting. You know, I was okay, but for some reason I chose this, and it's not it. You know, and my mom was like, "Well, then what? What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to act." And she was like, "You mad?" My dad was like, "You playing games? What do you mean, boy? We send you to Joburg from your actor. From your lala. You know what I mean? But I suppose it's always about teaching each other. Each other, you know, and I think one thing I appreciate about my folks was when I called them back to say I've gotten my first lead role in a commercial and it's okay and I'll cover the first year of tuition at film school myself, then you can catch on when you see it working.
What?
They immediately said, well, save your money, we got you. We got you on the first year.
Yeah, it's all right.
You know, it seems to be working.
Yeah.
You went for an audition and you got it.
This train of yours is going.
Yeah, well,
it's moving
something. We saw you on TV last night. We saw your commercial.
Oh.
It's a great commercial, son. So this thing is real.
Which commercial was this?
Sprite. I had an afro even.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my first big commercial.
You want to put your headphones on? Because I think I'm going to blow you away with the next song.
A lead role. Oh, yeah? Okay.
Let's put them on so that I can create this thing.
Set it up.
Should I set it up? Are you ready?
Yep. Yeah, man.
Let's talk quickly fatherhood before we go to the lines. Life since being a father?
Big question is, what have I been doing with my time? You know, it's the most amazing book that gets written every day. The page is constantly different, you know, and it's an introduction to somebody that is in your life forever and ever. Amen. When my son was born, I said to my wife, so baby, like, no break, no day off. I'll be a father forever. This is it. Like, there's never like an off Saturday where I'm not a dad.
No.
And she was like, well, this is it. And I was like, amen. And nothing beats being there, and nothing beats showing up.
But you were in your 30s already, right?
Yes. I was 31 when my son was born.
Say your son was born, hypothetically, during your matric year. Dear young father, what would you say to yourself? Now that you know what it is like to raise this 3-year-old.
You're not prepared, but it's not the end of the world. You just have to man up quicker than everybody else. What else is there to say?
What is there to
say? Because here's the truth, like, you can't say to your child, "Ish, sorry, I had you too early."
Oh,
Isan, sorry, ne? Okay, good luck. You can't say to your child is here. It goes back to my question to my wife, like, okay, so I can't even.
No.
There's not even no hiatus, nothing. No.
You can't pause.
You can't pause. That means that you are visible, that you're present. You are present. You're
in mind, in body,
physique. In your game has begun. Stage 1. Let's go. You have activated it. You know, because I look at my son. I'll tell you, it's not. They say raising kids is expensive. I don't think it is. I think what's tough is making the time, or is
especially if time is money.
Especially if time is money.
Yeah.
What's rough is how people use their 24 hours in a day, because that's the value. The value is in your time.
Yeah.
When people book you for your services, they book your time. When a show books you as an actor, they book your time and your talent. When MC is booked, it's their time. So we take it as, ish, manje kumele ngihlanganise imali yaphela. There's days where there is no money. And you're like, but my son is still my son. What do you mean nothing today? But the idea is managing that time. I could chase money forever. I could be on a new production in a new province every day. But I need to realize that the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, or the reason I'm up in the morning, is so I can amass some value, so I can be one that lives the life I want to live with those that I love.
Amazing. We had a very interesting show just yesterday. You know how it is that, in fact, it has also been proven scientifically, Thapelo.
Yeah.
That when it comes to sex, we lie in bed.
We lie as in L-I-E, or lie as in, what's the other one? Lie down.
L-I-E as in, we fib.
We fib.
Yeah, but white lies. We know white lies for a reason.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Those are necessary sometimes.
Baby, ungarasi uzovusa abantwana. What are the lies we tell in bed?
No, you look great. You look amazing. I love your morning face. Come, let's take a selfie. I mean it. You look amazing. You're so gorgeous. I mean, you shouldn't even, don't worry about anything today. Just put on your clothes and go out there and tackle. And by then, obviously, you got your fingers crossed like, no, don't do it. You know, those are definitely one of the lies we tell in bed.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is, man ngizoshesha. Lalela 5 minutes. Yeah, nami ngizoba late vele.
Yeah.
Sonke is late. Song is Katele.
Thapelo, I wish I had more time.
I wish I had more time.
Time is just, we need part 2.
I'm always open to that. Just the one thing I wanted to raise after listening to the two callers who called in about the acting thing. I am working on something really awesome that's going to assist some upcoming future stars, future performers, future actors get closer to realizing their dreams. You know, if you follow me on my social media, I'm starting my talks, and the first one is called Book Your First Gig. I'm doing it with a team of industry experienced people.
Nice one.
Helping the next future actor, presenter, actress get that much closer to booking their first gig. I'm doing it with great partners in Nescafe, Dolce Gusto, other brands. But the bottom line is, what the aim is here is to help that future new TV star or great or artist great get that much closer to locking down their first big audition. And then the series begins and goes on and on and on. So stay close to my social pages. The aim is to share so we can get closer to realizing our dreams.
My brother, all I can say is keep shining.
One love and respect.